Hey guys, Jeannine here with another review for you. I recently got to see the new Brendan Fraser film, The Whale, and so I'm here to share my thoughts. This film is being kind of called a comeback for him, but if you watch him in interviews, he says, I wasn't too far away, like I was still here. Obviously he was doing shows like Doom Patrol, so he was doing things, but people just kind of thought he was, not around. But he did kind of have some difficulties in Hollywood that had him maybe step away for a while and not do as much, but he's always kind of been around. And a lot of people kind of coming for how he looks in terms of how he looked when he was younger and how he looks now, but the man has been through some shit. He went through a terrible divorce. His wife kind of took a lot of his money. The last Mummy movie he did really left him beaten and bruised, and it left a lot of kind of pain, and surgeries had to be done on his body, so obviously that caused him to gain weight. He was on antidepressants, so that put on weight for him as well. He had an incident with a kind of big wig in terms of like the behind the scenes of Hollywood, who actually sexually harassed him, and people didn't believe him, and that's why he is actually boycotting the Golden Globes, because the man who did that to him is like the guy who runs the Golden Globes or is in charge of the Golden Globes. So he's nominated for this film, but he is not going to the ceremony. So the man has been through a lot, and people have been coming for him in terms of how he looks, but a lot of people are really excited for him to kind of have this moment of coming back in a big film and being seen again after everything he's been through. And I am definitely one of those people who are in so much support of him. I've loved everything he's done, the good, the bad, the ugly, the ridiculous. He always kind of seems to put all his heart into his films. Absolutely a huge fan of the Mummy franchise, Bedazzled, just Encino Man, School Ties. I have loved a lot of his work, and George of the Jungle. So yeah, I'm so excited for him to kind of have this big moment in this movie, and getting a lot of buzz for his performance here. So I was really excited to see this movie and kind of see him on a big screen again, in kind of an acclaimed film that a lot of people were gonna potentially see. And he did not disappoint. He gave such a sad, vulnerable performance. Basically, he's playing this very overweight man who's kind of given up on himself, and he, it is told he probably doesn't have very long to live because of his weight, and like his heart can just give out at any time. He has a very strained relationship with his daughter, so he's trying to kind of mend bridges with her before he passes away. He has a best friend who was the sister to his partner. She is a nurse, so she takes care of him, but she also enables him, and it's very painful for her. It angers her that she enables him. It angers her that he won't go to the hospital and take care of himself, but she still will buy him food that's not good for him and kind of give him things that he's not supposed to have, and really kind of is in this weird effed up place with him that she wants to give him what he needs, but knows that it's killing him at the same time. So she definitely has her own demons that she's facing in terms of this friendship with him, because she loves him so much. And the daughter just being very angry. He left his wife and her to be with this other man when she was about 8, and has since not really been in her life. So she really has so much resentment for him. The daughter's played by Sadie Sink, who just has had an amazing year. She was such a breakout in Stranger Things. Of course, the last season she was in, and now this most recent season this year, she definitely had some great moments in terms of her acting. So to see her here just be this kind of very angry, combative teenager, she was so great in that role, and your heart kind of breaks for Brendan Fraser, just this kind of broken man. And he's a writer. He teaches online courses, but I love kind of the opening of showing him do these online courses. His camera isn't off because obviously he doesn't want anybody to see him. And so he's teaching these online courses and kind of hiding himself. And so it's just about a man who's kind of given up on himself, but he still has so much belief and faith in other people. So the faith and belief that he no longer has for himself, he puts that into other people, and he just has this really positive attitude for everyone else, but not for himself. And he has these moments of maybe wanting to do better for himself. We see him on the computer, and he, you know, goes in his big old snack drawer, and he gets a candy bar out, and then he stops himself and he's like, no, I'm not going to do this. And he throws the candy bar back in the drawer. And then he actually goes and looks up like the heart condition that he's suffering from. And it talks about how, you know, you have only so long to live, and it's really a dangerous disease. And just kind of looking at it stresses him out again, and he goes back for the candy bar. Like he's having this tug of war with, you know, like I want to be better, but whatever, it's not worth it. I'm not worth it. So he's constantly like hiding himself because of how he looks, and just kind of given up on life because his partner died, and since then he kind of had sunk into just, you know, eating himself away. So that's kind of where a lot of his pain stems from. But yeah, it's really just about this man who has given up on himself and really just wants to make peace with his daughter and, you know, fix that relationship, at least if he can, before he passes away. And when he does see his daughter for the first time in a really long time, he sees that like she's not living up to her potential. She just doesn't care about her education. She's just messing up in school. She's kind of just making trouble. She's just a very kind of hateful person. And he if nothing else, he wants her to know that she's a good person. He wants her to feel loved. He wants her to know how wonderful and beautiful and smart she is. That's all he wants to do in his last kind of final days. But she's just so resistant to even kind of trusting him, looking at him, respecting him because of what he did in leaving her. So he has this kind of big uphill battle to really get his daughter to see the message, see her how he sees her. So that is just a tough thing to watch. It's a very tough movie to watch in terms of just seeing this man in so much pain and hiding and not being able to accomplish this one last thing that he wants to do, and the fight of that. It's just really hard to watch, and it's heartbreaking, and I found myself crying at moments, and really loving the relationship between him and the nurse friend played by Hong Chow, who also was great in The Menu this year. So really loving her in what I've seen her in so far. We do have this Ty Simpkins character who's kind of this missionary who keeps coming to Brendan Fraser. I don't want to butcher this man's name. He has said no one has said his name right for his whole career, so I do not want to mess it up here. Ty Simpkins is a missionary who keeps coming to Brendan Fraser's door to try to help him in some way. And, you know, for most of the film, his character kind of feels like, what is he doing here? What is his purpose? But ultimately, I think how they make his character relevant makes for kind of a beautiful moment by the end and pays off. But for the most of the film, you're kind of wondering, why is he here and what is his purpose? So he feels kind of useless for a big chunk of the film, but they end up kind of making it matter by the end, which I appreciated. And again, with just Hong Chow, the dilemma that she's in terms of caring for this man who she loves, enabling his addiction to food, also not wanting him to die, knowing that she's contributing to that, but that's what makes him happy in that moment. And so if she can do that for him, then that's what she's going to do. So just this tough situation that she's in with him is really hard to watch, and you feel kind of the pain of her knowing what she's doing and not knowing how to kind of get out of this toxic cycle. Yeah, we have these really kind of characters that are dealing with some really difficult things and really painful things. This movie doesn't really let you breathe, doesn't really give you, it's just constantly coming at you with more and more difficult things. And when you kind of think you might have a moment where you can have a little bit of faith in people and feel like how Brendan Fraser's character feels about people, they kind of pull it away from you and you kind of lose hope in people. But in seeing this character still have that hope in people, it is really kind of admirable. So just a great performance from Brendan Fraser. Loved seeing him get to really kind of dig deep into this character, and just kind of seeing all these flawed, effed up characters have to kind of go through what they're going through, and reconcile with some really difficult feelings, was really powerful. All the performances here I think were really well done, and I'm just hoping to see so much greatness for Brendan Fraser during this award season. Darren Aronofsky, he always is kind of really good at tapping into dark things, and this is no exception. So The Whale, a very difficult story, but great performances, a great kind of message in there, and a lot of hope by the end of it. So yes, I did enjoy The Whale. It was a difficult watch, but in terms of the performances, and just seeing Brendan really shine, I was really excited for this film and did enjoy it. So if you have the opportunity, I would check out The Whale. If you are somebody who is really cheering on Brendan Fraser in this time in his career, please check it out. And yeah, those are my thoughts on The Whale. So thank you guys for watching this review. Please like, share, subscribe, do all of the things, and I will see you in the next one.